over on New Light Streaming Love after the fact. Maybe someday we ought to do it live on Facebook.
Can you do that?
Yeah, but it will only be on my Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, but you can share it after, can't you?
Well, yeah, I can. Of course, I don't have the reach you do, my dear.
I don't have any reach.
Oh, yes, you do. You can't even pretend like you don't because you do. Certainly a huge reach. And what's so interesting, Jason, I got to tell you, I cannot figure it out to save me. Um, there we go. I wanted to pull us up so I can.
Are we live?
Yep, we are. We are
We're live right
live.
now?
We are live right now on Sassy Seer Sheila, and I will be uploading the completed video over to New Light Streaming Love after the fact. So, welcome everyone. And feel free to interact. I do have the live chat up so I can see it, and I will be reading all of your chats so that Jason can hear them. Um, yeah, what I find
You have to do your little spiel for the beginning first.
well, I don't have a spiel. Let's hear your spiel. My spiel
Well, I
is,
don't have one, but you have to introduce the speaker and you say who you are.
well, I think everybody knows who you are. We've already got folks joining on. Joining me today is Jason Gray. Now, ever since you told me, I have been putting hashtag Jason Gray on everything so that anything and everything I do will be easily accessible to all of us if that whole hashtag thing works the way I think it works. But I'm really excited to catch up with you. I just called this a Sunday catch up with hashtag Jason Gray. So just so you know, that's what the title of this is.
You should have called it a Sunday afternoon catch up with an alien.
Well, I guess I could have, but you didn't tell me that, so I didn't. I just put your name. That probably, and that's what I wanted to tell you. Well, I'm finding so interesting. I really I I'm not sure what to make of it. Um, as you know, I've had a lot of different things show up where your work is concerned. And I'll tell you what I mean. I've I've pulled this up so that I can look directly at it. Um, at the moment, aside from our very first live together, which you and I both know went way over 1,000 views, I'm finding it so interesting that the piece that I recorded, Why Certain Humans Become, quote, visible to the field, right as of right now, and I recorded that June 24th, so not quite a full month ago. And there are 463 views on that video. But a lot of the videos have 15, 20. The number on the wall has 75. Um, okay, this is really the final confession from a real alien has 25. Bootlickers, which I really thought would go viral, only has 14. So I don't know. I find this really interesting. And there's a part of me that thinks that maybe it has to do with how they screw around with my numbers, because you and I both know that they do. But also, I mean, I just don't know. I don't, if it had been your Alien series, I could see that. But this one about why certain humans become, quote, visible to the field, having so many views so quickly. I find that very interesting and intriguing to me, and I'm not quite sure what that is or why that is.
Well, the only thing I can offer you, Sheila, is whoever's meant to see it'll see it, and it'll make their way to them one way or another. Because I mean, I deal with that all the time. I really don't like pay too close attention to the metrics of
I don't
Facebook.
either, but it's
But
just
where, but
intriguing
it but
that,
it is interesting because I do see, like some of my stuff like reaches like probably over like 100,000 views, and some of it reaches like nobody. So I mean you're really basically at the mercy of the algorithm, and I don't understand how it works or anything like that. And I just do what I do, and I just kind of hit the publish button, and where it's meant to go, it'll get there one way or another. And if only five people see it, well, those are the five people that were meant to see it.
well, and I've always felt that way about my channel in general, and you know that. So that's not at all it's just an interesting puzzle piece for me to see such a huge variable like that. Yeah, no, and I've always known that there's been, there's been some what I will term skullduggery at foot, um,
Oh,
because I've always had that, on my channel. So, but just such a huge difference in between, and that one in particular. I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. So we are joined by Jam Bam, says greetings. Oh, and gives you a little alien head there. Hash Brown Hank, I think you're bang on with that, Jason, is what he said. Yes. And Anne said hello from Wisconsin. Well, I would like to welcome you all very much to this. And please note that if you have any questions for Jason, I am keeping a check on the chat so that I can, give him. And I also want to say to everyone, when there are any comments that I receive that are directed to Jason, I also let him know that, on the videos themselves. So I'm I'm feeling like I better put this back on because,
yeah, I was gonna mention that I don't see you wearing your oxygen very much.
well, I'm trying to get into the habit of not using it when I don't need it, because the lungs become accustomed to it. And oh, and Julie Wise has joined us as well. Hi, sweetie heart. And she said, hi, sweet friends. Um, yeah, I'm trying to only use it when I really need it. So, and I started feeling like a little dizzy, so I thought I might better put it on.
I have a tendency to do that to people.
And well, I know. I started feeling it about 5 minutes before, we got in the room together. The energy started pumping up. And of course, being a projector, I also feel all the energy from the folks that are here with their energy directed at us. Exactly at us. I used to do lives a lot, but it's been the energy is just too much for me to take right now, so I've backed off from doing that.
Well, when did we do our last one? Was what, a couple months ago?
Yeah, hold on, I'll tell you. Our last live, hours. It's been a while. It was no, that's not September 2025. I know we've
Oh, it's
had
been
one
since
since
then.
then.
Yeah.
Ah, what happened to Jason Gray? That was November 30th.
We've done one this year though, haven't we?
Yes, we did. April 4th was the last one.
April 4th.
Yeah,
So 3 months ago.
yeah, yep, April 4th. So since we did that one, I happen to know a little something, and I haven't put it out there. Are you ready to announce it? Or
The
did
books?
you already announced it on your Facebook page, didn't you?
The books?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the books are there's 5 volumes out and they've been put out by the anonymous person that we've spoken about on a few different occasions. And yeah, they're out on Amazon. We released the first one maybe like I want to say like maybe a month ago. And if you search for me on Amazon, like just under my name, it's under Jason JG Gray. And the books are called Fragments of the Mind, A Journey Through the Soul. And basically what they are is they're a collection of my writings from 2025. From what I can see, I personally I would love to say that I've read completely through them, but I've briefly, looked them over and I was just informed that, they're ready. I do a quick look over and then say yay or nay, and it's always been yay. And so yeah, so there is officially 5 volumes up now. So I from what I gather, it's all my writings that were, oh, I don't know what just happened to my computer here. I just went all,
I'll tell you what happened. I'm showing everybody.
oh, okay.
I'm showing
Okay, yeah,
everyone.
so there they are. That's them on Kindle. And then so there's some other things too I gotta mention because so when you try to get these books, like if you're using an iPhone, supposedly Amazon and Apple are having like this like little dispute for some reason. So basically, you have to go to an external, like to Google or an external browser, and then go on to Amazon, purchase the books. Like you can't purchase direct through the apps because Amazon and Apple are fighting about something. But so the books are available, they're ebooks for now on Kindle. And so you go basically onto a web browser, go into Amazon, purchase the books where you does I think that works worldwide from what I gather. And then it automatically downloads to your Kindle app or your Kindle readers or whatever you're using. I'm really not too up on the whole ebook thing. Like I still prefer like hard copy paper books. And those I've been told are coming at some point. I'm just happy that we got to the point where we are. I know we talked back in November. I think the release date was supposed to be around like January the 1st. I think we mentioned was going to be the first release. So yeah, officially I'm a published author, if you can believe that. I mean, we're not on the New York Times bestsellers list yet, but I have this feeling at some point in the future I will definitely hold the #1 spot there for something that I have either produced or yet to produce. So stay tuned. I'm going to be the #1 New York Times best-selling author at some point. So while you can, like I've been mailing out some stuff. I was at the post office today and I fired off a bunch of letters. And make sure you save everything, everybody, because someday those signatures on the bottom, those things are going to be worth their weight in gold. So hold on to everything, or else there'll be paper to start a fire, one or the other.
So it'd be valuable no matter what. Is that what you're
No
saying?
matter what, they're valuable. And then from what I gather, there's this person is working on going into like some hardcover or hard copy books. I think it's a bit more of an undertaking with like the editing and stuff like that. And then on another note, I was contacted maybe about a month ago by a publisher in California, and we've had a couple discussions. Nothing's really materialized out of that yet, but that was fairly interesting. I'm not sure, yet where the direction of that is going to go. And I mean, I just kind of whatever happens, happens. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, so the ebooks are on Amazon, and I know there's been some people have purchased them already. I think they're like $10 each or something like that, and they're pretty substantial, like lengthwise and whatever, and information wise. So really prepare yourself, because I know a lot of people like especially because I just post on Facebook, and a lot of people like once I post, like there's real no way to go back and search through my profiles, like unless you're saving stuff like that. So I mean, even for myself, because I know you've told me so many times, oh Jason, you have to save everything. You have to save. And to be honest, Sheila, like I still don't. Like,
Oh my God,
like
Jason, you're killing me.
I really I still don't. It's such a like just be and here's the reason why, and it's probably more of an excuse than a reason, but my time is so limited. Like, I mean, I still have a full-time job. I'm still, super busy. I'm doing this as like a side thing. And I mean, even just like all these extra seconds of a day, like to do this. And I mean, I'm not a computer wizard. I really like I'm on a computer right now at the house. But I don't own a computer. I am the last time I sat in front of this computer, I can tell you right now was in April, the last time we did a conversation. Like I opened this thing up, like my last experience with the computer, I think the operating system was like Windows XP. Like I'm not even joking, okay? Like like I'm not even kidding. Like I look at this thing now and there's all like these like little icons and stuff all over the place. Like even when we started talking here, I'm like, well, how do you turn up the volume on this? Like
Right.
like
No, I
I I
know.
I really I don't know. Like I'm a big time believer and user of mobile technology. And I mean I use an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Like that's what I do pretty much all my work and everything on it. I mean it does everything for me. Like it prints, it does this, it's a flashlight, it's my bank card, like it's everything. So I mean this whole computer thing. But yeah, but the books. Like I know you've seen the original emails and we've talked about this numerous times, but the person that's, taken this project upon themselves, like the amount of work that's gone into this is just like it's unbelievable. Like
Oh,
it's
I know. I saw the
truly
original.
unbelievable. And
Yeah.
then I wrote a bit about today. So and then about 2 months ago, I decided I was going to or I was going to go get a post office box. So I went in, I got a post office box like down at the post office by where I live, and got a box for a year, and it's just this little tiny like box. You put a key in, I guess they put letters in there and whatever, and then I put a thing up on Facebook, and I wrote about this today actually, and it's kind of comical when I think about it, but so I put a thing up on Facebook that I wanted people to write me because I mean that's one thing that we're really missing. Like we're really missing out on. Like I talk about, how easy it would be to erase us basically from existence. Like we have no physical, mediums really to show that we were here. Everything's digital, like even our pictures, like we don't go get pictures developed anymore. We don't write handwritten letters anymore. We could, if this internet just goes down, like we basically just cease to exist. But if someone, wrote me a letter, well, it's a lot harder to erase, a handwritten letter than it is to erase an email or a text message or, a message on Messenger or a Facebook post. Like all they got to do is this all goes black, and it's like none of this ever happened.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I firmly believe that what I'm doing too is like it's leaving a footprint, 100 years from now, and another thing I've been doing, so I'll get back to the post office box so a little bit. So I got the post office box, and then I put the post up on Facebook that I got a post office box, and all these people are like, yeah, we're gonna write blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, so there'll be letters coming. So I think I waited like 2 or 3 weeks. I went to the post office. I checked the post office box, and it's empty. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like this is just, and I wrote about this today. My mind says like this was a stupid idea right out of the gate. No one's gonna write, nothing's gonna happen. Like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my money, I'm wasting my resources thinking that people are gonna write. And then about a week later, I was by the post office again. I said, okay, well, I'll go check the post office again. And then I went into the post office, I checked the post office box, and it's empty again. And I'm like, yep, see, people don't write letters anymore. Everybody wants like instant gratification and right now communication, and nobody has the patience to sit down with paper and a pen and write an address on an envelope and go to the post office. And then the craziest thing, so so I went back another week later and I opened the post office box, and there was letters in there. And I was just in shock, like honestly, like there was letters. I think I got letters. So all the countries I've got letters from now that I can think of off the top of my head, I've gotten letters from Hungary. I've gotten letters from Croatia. I've gotten letters from the Canary Islands. I've gotten letters from Australia. Where else? I got letters from Canada and the USA. And I think, oh, and I got letters from the United Kingdom. And I mean, I'm not just getting letters, like I'm getting like packages. And I mean, people are like sending me like drawings. I had a person sent me this really cool like old Druid map, like the Druids. Like, and then like people are sending me like lengthy letters and poetry and just any everything and anything you can think of that you can get into a package basically has started coming. So what I've started doing with that is I've got like these plastic sheet protectors like that you put like letters and stuff in. So I've started like organizing all this stuff into binders and like preserving everything like the envelope that it came in, and then here's the letter. And it makes it easier for me to read too, like when it's all like folded out nice on like a page and whatever. And then just today I fired off like about I don't know, 25 responses like all over the world. So the way I look at this too is, these people have taken the time to write to me. I send something back. But I mean, there's a physical record now in existence of our communication with one another where that's being lost like it's this just didn't start happening. Like this has been going on now probably for decades. I know where I live, like they're talking about like getting rid of home mail service. We're already using like super community mailboxes, like where they have like one pedestal with 50 or 100 boxes in it, and you have to leave your house and go there and get it, and that's where your mail goes. And they're talking about like where I live in Canada, we have Canada Post as the a crown corporation that handles all the mail and whatever. But I mean, just the cutbacks and whatever. And I mean, the whole reason for this is because, everything's going digital. Like, what do you need a mailman for anymore? You don't. You're sending the mail yourself, email or whatever. And we've stopped writing and we've stopped communicating that way. And it's really something that can't be lost. Like I really think once that's totally lost, like we're in trouble. We're in big trouble.
No, I think you're right. It's what and to make it worse here in the United States, what I notice, and some of this is going to sound like a conspiracy theory, but I have heard it said that there are actually two post offices in the United States. One that is the original and one that is a corporation. And the corporate post office is what's delivering my mail here where I am. And it is so poor and so slack and so pretty much we don't care, that I was receiving a package from a viewer from Canada, and it took weeks longer than it should have. And it wasn't until I actually got in touch with the Postmaster General for our area here that it actually showed up.
But
So
you did get the package though, right?
I finally did get it, yes, but that's why I say I know that you're right in what you're saying. And I would tend to agree with you that it well, we've all it for me, it goes along with everything else that I've been about since I started this channel. Everyone, we've all been tricked into thinking that we have to pay to survive on the planet.
Well, we
And
do.
because you have to pay to survive on the planet, you don't have time for anything else.
Yeah.
And
No,
so
that,
here,
yeah.
let me give it to you this way so it can be faster. And we think it's, oh, that's well and good. But you write about this. And I'm watching it happen where we are giving up our muscles. There's no more boredom. Boredom is how invention happens, by the way, because it takes imagination from being bored to invent things, to build things. So there's that. But also, you speak about perception and the fact that what comes from back, what the whole reason that there was a seeding back this way was just that it's like, and I view it as a hijacking of perception. I'm watching folks allow AI to give the answer to everything. And half of the folks don't even do any sort of checking to see if stuff works, if it's true. There's no critical thinking behind it. And so
Yeah,
how
but it's been like that. Like, I mean, you can't necessarily point your finger at AI right away. Like AI,
no,
is
I
I mean,
realize that, but I'm noticing it since then.
and I understand that because it's accelerating things. But the whole thing with AI
Right.
too is most people think of it like it's Google or it's the ultimate answer machine. Well, it's actually the ultimate question machine. It's the question machine.
No, I would agree
It's
with that because I can
it's
prove
not an
things both
answer. I mean,
ways.
it'll give you answers, but it'll give you answers whatever you want.
That's right.
If you said to AI like, okay, 2 plus 2 equals, you say okay, AI or whatever you're using for a chatbot or whatever, and you say okay, tell me the answer to 2 plus 2, and it'll say 4. And if you say I want you to tell me it's 5, well, it'll tell you it's 5.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. So
It'll
I
tell
want
you
to read some
whatever
of
you
these
want to
comments.
hear.
I want to read some of these comments to you, Jason, before we get too far because they're starting to come in pretty quick now. So Julie from Kent, UK says hello. Cindy Garcia said, I read the first book and it was beyond amazing. Janet Phillips just joined from the UK trying to catch up with the catch up. She's in Lincoln, UK. Hash Brown Hank, any plans on having the books on Audible? Well,
Well, there you go, Sheila. There's a job for you. You can put the books on the Audible for the next 25 years to record them.
well, I guess if that's what Jason would like, I'd be up for it.
But here's the other thing you can
I
respond
don't
to
know who's
that.
in charge of deciding those
Is you
things.
have recorded like over 200, well over 200 of the writings now. So I mean, if anyone was thinking about Audible, like I mean, I know for myself, like when I'm driving, I'll just go on your YouTube channel, I'll go to the videos, and then I'll just like play them as I'm driving, like listen to the like I mean, you're on there obviously on the video, but I'm driving, so I mean, I'm just listening to the audio, right?
Right. I can tell you actually how many.
There's a few.
No, I know, and I think it is over 200 now. It may actually even be over three. I'm not sure. Let's just see. Because I now I have more than one Jason playlist too. So there's 59 in the RZN series. There's 15 in the Metakeys, 6 in the Sun, 8 in the subsurface libraries, and 300 in the works of Jason Gray.
So that's a total
Yeah.
of all
There,
of
well,
them?
no, 300,
So it's
350.
300 plus 59 plus 15 plus 6 plus 8. So
Right.
we're
Yeah.
pushing into 400 territory.
Yes. We're pushing into 400 territory now. And Julie's got an awful lot of them on hers, and Amber Field's got a lot on hers as well. And I don't know if because I don't check the other ladies to see if they've recorded or not. I record your work according to my own guidance, just so everybody's really clear about what I do and why I've done this with Jason. I I was nudged by my own guidance to record some of Jason's work, and I was also nudged to ask his permission. I generally do not ask for permission to record something that is freely available on Facebook or on the internet because I figure it's out there, it's not copyright protected, and there shouldn't be any reason I could not record it. But for some reason, I was nudged to contact Jason. I'm very glad that I did contact Jason. And I wanted it to be clear to everyone, I'm guided by my own consciousness as to what to record and when. A lot of your work, I get the nudge when I see it, yes, that's going to be recorded, but not today. Now, I think that's because my psyche is not ready for whatever is in that writing. And there must be or might be something else that you've recorded or something else I have to experience out here that I am to expose myself to before I record it. I don't know the truth of that for certain, but that's my current suspicion. And so very rarely do I just record willy-nilly, unless you have asked me specifically to record something, and then absolutely, I'm happy to do that. And I don't have, I asked my guidance if that was okay before I ever answered you the first time, and I got an okay. So that's how it works for me on that. So Hash Brown Hank, I'm certainly open to that. I don't know what the rules are. It would seem to me like the author would have to be the one to say who gets to record the work. I don't know.
Well, I know now, like with the books, like being on Amazon and everything, and I know like everything, like so pretty much everything is Facebook ratings and everything on there. I'm pretty sure, like I'm like 99.99% sure everything is copyrighted now. Like everything is copyrighted.
Okay. Well, I don't know. And I guess what I mean by that is I don't know how Audible works. Do they use AI to
Yeah,
read your work?
I have no idea.
I gotcha.
It's way over my pay grade.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, I'm open to it, that's for certain, but at the moment, I'm really guided to read your work as my guidance suggests because I do I have noticed there is something else I was guided to record over the weekend, and it's from a book that I read 9 years ago. And it's just one chapter, and I'm going to be doing it I'm going to be offering that as a book club coming up soon because my eyes see sense. I mean, it's like I have a new understanding of everything. And so when I read this excerpt, I saw it and received it differently than I did the first time. And I feel like that's for all of us as our psyche grows, as our consciousness evolves, things hit differently. Like when I read that 9 years ago, I didn't understand what I now understand as I read that piece again. So that's why I feel like that's what I have to do, even with your work. So, Cindy Garcia says, congratulations. She's the one that has already read one of the first book. Jules said, I've purchased the first three and wow, amazing. Jackie Smallridge. Oh, Jackie is somebody else that I have been in touch with. She too gets lots of information, and she sent me her book. And so she says it is so important to keep everything and to write letters. It keeps it real. Archive, even if it makes no sense now, it will as time passes. Jules
Yeah, I
said,
gotta hold on a second. I gotta put you on hold for a minute here. I got my door going crazy.
go right ahead. I'll
But
just keep.
you can just keep chatting away and I'll be back
uh,
hopefully in like 30 seconds.
okay. All right. Go
I got
ahead.
my door is going nuts for some reason.
I gotcha. Go ahead. Go answer that door, pal. Jules said the Facebook post keep going was beautiful, give me goosebumps, especially the line, there were letters inside. I had the biggest smile on my face, my heart pounding. I love that. I want you guys to know I had thought about getting a post office box myself, but it's not something I'm in a position to do right now. Julie said, my mail carrier has been working for the post office for 6 months and still hasn't been given uniforms. Seems very telling to me. Like I said, it used to be when I was in my 20s, which I'm 60, going to be 65 in August. You used to, it was a big deal trying to get on with the post office. But I think it is now a corporation and it's not the same as it used to be. And I think things are very different there. Jules says, I listened to all three ladies going to sleep with headphones. Oh, that's lovely. Janet Phillips fascinated with the picture Matt behind Jason's head. Oh, well, when Jason comes back, we'll have to see what that is. Um, Wait a minute. Don't do that. There we go. So I just want to, while Jason is still gone, I want to tell everybody that I thank you all so much for being here. Um, a lot of you do reach out to me, and I'm very grateful for your presence always and the comments in the on all of the videos that get comments. I do, just so you guys know, I do hold the comments so that I don't miss any of them. And so if you ever comment and then don't see your comment, that is why, because I hold them. That was the only way I could figure out. If I leave it to where the comments just appear the minute you push enter, I'm not notified. And so somebody could see a video months from now that I did today and comment on it, and I would never know. They might even ask me a question, and I would not know. So the only way I can make sure that I know is to hold all the comments, and then I release them, and that's when you would see them appear. Um, to let you guys know, the book that I was, well, also while Jason's gone, the book that I want to start my next book club about, and we're not going to start this probably till about the 1st of September or thereabouts. It's called The World of Archangels, How to Meet an Archangel, by Sufian Chudhari. And I, like I said, it was very interesting because it was a question and a conversation that I had over the weekend with a friend that this book came springing back to my mind, and I was actually shown one of the um, chapters. And so I am recording that and I will be releasing it on the channel. It is about chakras and chakra activations, and it really helped me in a lot of ways. And I'm interested to see what folks have to say or think about it. And so look for that coming real soon. Um, E. Rupke, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that. Thank you. This person is German, and just so you guys know, if there is any comments that I look like it's a foreign language, uh, I do take the extra step to copy and paste it and get it translated. Um, so thank you, sweetie heart.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, it was delivery driver.
Ah, okay. So behind your head, somebody thinks that's a map. It actually looks like flowers or something to
Yeah,
me.
it's some type of picture of flowers, I think.
Yeah, okay.
It's flowers. It's not a map. It could be a map.
Well, maybe it is a map. So, um, so when that comes up, or how does that work? Did anybody approach you about Audible? Did they say anything? I don't even know how the Audible works.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I have no idea about Audible whatsoever.
Okay, so Amazon didn't say anything to you about
No,
it.
no, I
Okay.
don't like, is that an Amazon platform?
Apparently, yes, it is. And that's, where right near the Kindle, and I don't know, hold on a second. The let me take a look at your book and see what it says. Kindle available. It does not say that it's available on Audible at the
I
moment.
can do some checking into that.
Okay. Yeah, it just says available instantly. And it doesn't even mention Audible on here. But like I said, that would be totally and I'm not real sure. I'd have to sit with that a little bit about I think I would be ready, but I don't know if I'd be ready to really take that on.
Oh, Sheila, you wouldn't even want to take it on. You really wouldn't. You
I
wouldn't.
was going to say
Like
because
there's so much material. Like honestly, it would be the next like it would probably take 10 years to record it like that. Like so they must be using some type of like an AI system or something like that. I'm sure. Like I'm gonna talk to the the publisher, I guess we can call them now, and instead of just the anonymous person,
right,
I'll talk to the publisher and I'll see, what he has to say if this is something that, maybe you just click something on a box and it does it automatically. Like
right,
I really don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Like I said, like I've gone like briefly through what was published, and I mean I wrote everything, so I mean but it's funny because usually when I'm doing stuff like what happens with me, like a bit of my process is, like the idea comes and then it takes form, and if I don't deal with the idea, like here's the worst part though, like if I don't deal with the idea, like it doesn't leave me alone until I do.
I knew that.
So,
The very first time you tried to stop writing, when you told me the very first time that we were putting down the pen, I said, and I think I said it in one of the videos somewhere, that Jason thinks he's done with the writing, but the writing's not done with Jason.
yeah, no, I mean it's interesting because it goes in all sorts of different directions. And I mean, I just kind of let it go where it wants to go on its own. But I mean, yeah, it's it's not stopping, and sometimes I really gotta stop because sometimes it gets really overwhelming because I have a hard time like kind of like remembering like where I am and where I've left off on certain things. Like I mean, I got like 50 projects on the go, like and then I mean, and they get on the back burner, and then something new comes, and it kind of But I always like eventually like everything gets completed. So I mean, maybe like the book format would be better because you can kind of follow the sequence better through there. Like I know I've been working on like some RZN stuff, like more RZN stuff lately, and it's kind of, moved down the queue again. But if you were like following that specifically, well now like because Facebook doesn't have a search feature like in your profile, that you can't like I just can't go in my profile, type RZN, and then everything like RZN comes up indexed because it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So I mean, you basically almost have to save the work on your own. And it was really interesting because I got a letter, I think it was from a lady in Hungary. It was either Hungary or the Czech Republic. I'm pretty sure it was Hungary though, for some reason I want to say Hungary. And she's been translating everything into Hungarian, and then she prints everything off, and she says and she saves hard copies of everything, which is kind of interesting because like I said, even with the whole letter writing thing that's going on right now, like when we're no longer here, when we're long dead and gone, someone could open up a dusty trunk, and there's all the writings in there 100 years from now, or 200 years from now, or however long from now, or even all the letters people send me, or whatever you've done and whatever. But these computers, like I mean, think about this, okay? Do you remember what a floppy disk is?
Yes, I do.
You remember what a floppy disk is, right?
Yes.
Like, we were around long before even the floppy disk was around.
Yes.
So, I mean,
I'm old enough to remember the
that just
big
goes to
floppy
show
disk.
you our age. But I mean, this is technology for you. So if all of a sudden right now you were rummaging through a drawer, and found a box of floppy disks with writing on them, say that they had this information on them, well, could you access it?
No,
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 no.
no.
But if you find this piece of paper in a box, or a trunk or whatever, even 200 years from now, can
Right.
you read it? Absolutely.
Absolutely. No, I agree. That's why I think I prefer the actual printed book myself. That
But
might be,
we've moved so far away from this, and it's not like I'm trying for like some big giant global revival of letter writing, but I mean it's been really interesting even for me, like to look through the letters now that are coming. Like when I went to the post office one day, and the little post office box, Sheila, it was so jam-packed full of letters, okay? It was packed. And then the lady at the post office desk, she's like, "Oh, and Jason, we have a bunch more here behind the counter for you." And I'm like, and there's like, and looking, there's like packages and stuff like that. And I mean, it's amazing. And so do you have my post office box address?
I do.
Maybe
I
you
don't
should
have, well, I don't have it right here.
hold on. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here quickly.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, give it to me and I'll put it in my address book. I'll send you a letter too.
okay. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Send me a letter. You'll get a letter back. So
All
my
right.
my so to get a hold of me via snail mail with a stamp and an envelope. So
Which I happen to have actually.
it's Jason Gray, Gray, and then my post office box is P.O. Box 55032, and then it's Winnipeg, Winnipeg, RPO Dakota, Dakota Crossing, Crossing, Manitoba, Canada.
Wait,
And
well, you're going a little too
okay,
fast
well,
for
where are you at? Where are you at?
Winnipeg, RPO, Dakota. Is it, you said
Okay, so
Dakota,
it's Winnipeg, and then RPO,
right?
and then Dakota, Dakota, and then crossing, Crossing,
Okay.
and then it's Manitoba, Canada,
Okay.
and the postal code is R2N 0A8. And it's on, if you go on my Facebook profile, it's like pinned like right at the top. There's like two things pinned there, I think, and one of them is if you'd like to write. And then there's a picture of like an envelope with all the information on it. So you can like just send a postcard, send whatever you want.
So Hash Brown Hank said the reason I was asking about Audible is because I find when I'm driving on highways, it's easier for me to focus on listening to audiobooks. And I like to listen at 175th, two times speed. Uh, I don't blame you, Hash Brown Hank. If that works for you, that's great. But if if until he does that, you can also change any one of mine, Julie's, or Amber's recordings using the settings in YouTube as well.
Yeah, like I said, I just play like when I'm driving, I just like click on like your videos and then I just hit play and it's like it streams to my
Right,
vehicle radio and then I just listen to them that way.
right. And Hash Brown Hank, if you go to any one of the playlists that are Jason's, and you can start at the beginning of the playlist and it will just continue on in the playlist to get them all. And there's 305 in the largest one. The RZN series is all the RZN work together. The same with the meta keys all together, everything that you've written about the sun all together. Um, and I'm going to change the way I have those listed and put hashtag Jason Gray in front of, since I'm now having so much. I'm finding that I want to group some of your work together, separate from what's, like the RZN series. Um, Janet said, perhaps we should all copy Jason's work, time capsule them, bury place all around the world. That sounds like a really good idea, Janet. I like that a
Like
lot.
I honestly think it's kind of being done already. Like I said, like I've had people reach out to me like from like Hungary and I know there's other people like that
I
print the
think that's
work
a
off
really
and
good
like
idea.
save it
Yeah,
in hard copy. Oh yeah, I'm all about hard copy, everything. Hard copy.
and I'll tell you why I feel like that's the case, because just like what you said, I'm convinced that there have been other civilizations on the planet that we know nothing about because by the time they actually destroyed themselves, they were all digital and there wasn't any footprints left to
Well,
follow.
look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, Sheila.
Exactly.
They find them in these canisters or whatever. Like I mean, and they try to tell us, oh, this is what it is. Our scholars and everything have looked at it. Okay, well, this is the way I look at it. Unless you were there when it was written, I mean, it's just a theory. It's a theory what you think that it means and what you think that it
Right.
says. It's a theory because unless you were there and understood the language and the time that it was on and whatever. You really don't have a clue because you weren't there. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how many PhDs you have hanging on your wall. But I mean,
Well,
this could be
honestly,
it could be the same thing. You know, like I said,
honestly, as
it could
far
be
as
the
that's
same
concerned,
thing.
Jason, as far as that's concerned, I think that can actually be said on you can actually be there and be mistaken because I see that all the time. There's a difference between denotation and connotation. And just because we all think we know what a word means when we
We
say
don't.
it does not mean that somebody over here didn't take it differently than what I meant for
Oh,
them to take
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had that happen to me. So I know exactly what you're speaking on, and I know that's true. Jules said, I will make it my mission to send a letter, but struggle with it. I was one of the rebellious kids and didn't believe in school, but blessed with an amazing imagination. Well, that's wonderful. Hash Brown Hank said, letter writing is important. My son's peers who are in their teenage years struggle with reading and writing, and they also struggle with basic mathematics. The curriculum has been dumbed down. That being said, the younger generations are a lot smarter than we give them credit for in other ways. Well, yes, and I'll tell you why I feel that is that the DNA that they carry is in there, but the reading and the writing is important as well, in my opinion. Otherwise, we can write or save these writings all we want, and it won't make any difference if they continue to dumb folks down. And honestly, I'm telling you, my child is 40, and so I didn't know any better back then, but if I were having children now, I would be the one doing their education, not the school system, because you're right, Hash Brown Hank. They're not being educated at all. I just heard somebody say there's something like a 90% graduation rate in this one particular town, but only 38% of those graduating can read.
I believe it. And the biggest problem that we have here is like we have public school system, of course, and then we have private school system. And I'll tell you this, like this is something that's always kind of baffled me, is we have a school here that's like internationally renowned. It's called St. John's Ravenscourt. It's a very elite, exclusive private boarding school. Like there's kids come from all over the world to be educated here. And I mean, and they go on to like Harvard and Yale and big jobs and they come from big money and stuff like that. But I can tell you this, I've had friends that have actually attended there, and the curriculum that they're learning there to the curriculum that is being taught in public school is absolutely night and day difference. Like it's not even in the same flipping galaxy. Like it's not even close. And I have such a like a hard time understanding like, okay, this curriculum that you have to pay obscene amounts of money to receive is gives you like the advantage in life. Like I don't understand why that's not available to every child.
Right?
I really like I don't understand it. I really don't understand, why the public school system is, I won't say attacking our children, but I mean in some ways I really truly feel they are. And I mean that's speaking as a father of three boys. And my middle boy was supposed to graduate in June and he's kind of staying back for a little bit longer. And then my oldest boy, he's 26 now, and I mean I think he has like a computer science degree or something like that. And he's very like he's a very gifted child. And same with my youngest boy, and he's going to be turning 15. And I was talking to him a while ago, and he sent me he created some type of an AI for studying and stuff like that, and built a website and did all this stuff. And he sent it to me. He said, "Look," he said, "What do you think of this?" And I opened it up and I looked at it. I was like, "That's really impressive." And like I mean, it's really impressive. Like it's no joke. It's impressive. And I mean, it takes a lot to impress me. And it was impressive. And I said, "What is that?" And he says, "I made it." And I was like, I said, "Come on." And I said, "No, you didn't." He said, "Yeah, I did the whole thing. I did the website design. I did all this." But even my oldest boy, like I remember when he was like, say, like 5 or 6 years old, I used to buy him like these massive, like adult Lego sets almost. And this kid would like take this Lego set to his room. And I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start building these things. And within like an hour or two, like hardly just from looking at the box, like he'd have these things completely built. And I'm just like, how do you do that? Like how do you do that? I mean, they're gifted. They're
Well,
gifted.
I think they really are, and that's why I say I've been watching the younger generation, and it seems to me like some, not all, but some really are very gifted. And I do feel like there's the potential there because the DNA that each one of us carries, it's a combination, an accumulation, really, of all the ancestors that went before. And I feel as though that actually may have more to do with what people think of as karma than anything else. Um, at any rate, that's a different subject for
Well,
you.
the other thing that we really need to be teaching the younger generation too is discernment. Like in a big way. Like, because I mean, like you said, like we were talking about AI earlier, and I mean it'll tell you anything you want it to tell you. You need to be able to even for example, like with myself, like I mean, I need to feel that it's true, like at my core. Like, do you know what I mean? Before I can say, okay, yes, I can verify this as fact or whatever, because I can. But if I even have a single shred of doubt, like whatsoever, like that causes me to investigate deeper and to
Right.
see wherever. But I mean, people like they just turn on the television. Actually, I want to talk about this a little bit too because I wrote about this the other day. They just turn on the television and it's like whatever it tells you is the truth. Well,
Well,
no,
now,
it's not. It's
here's,
not
I'm
even
glad you're going
close.
there. And I'm going to tell you why I feel like that is. There's at least a part of it there. From the very moment we're born,
You're programmed.
yes, and it begins actually, unfortunately, right at home.
Yeah, but Sheila, it begins. Think about this. It begins when you're even in the womb. You don't think the womb is hearing vibration
Oh, no, you're
and all
absolutely
sorts
right.
of stuff like that. It begins even in the womb.
Yes.
And then it comes out that says, this is your name, this is your gender, this is what you need to do to be successful. Like it's all program. You have to be a good citizen and go to work and pay taxes and have
No,
no
I
freedom.
agree.
Basically,
I
and
totally
then
agree.
basically we just raise generation after generation of slaves without chains. But we
No,
have chains.
exactly
But
correct.
we
And
have
that's the
chains.
whole purpose. Make no mistake.
And I talked about this a while ago too. Like we all know the prices of everything is going through the roof, right?
Right.
Everything is going through the roof. Everything. Like look at the cost of a new vehicle. Like I was talking to some friends of mine the other day. Like I bought in 1998, I bought an F-150 XLT four-wheel drive truck in 1990. It was 90 or no, it was 2008. It was 2008 when I bought this truck. And I think at the time, I want to say I paid maybe around $40,000 for it. I was looking at these trucks online the other day for a 2026 truck, same model. Do you have any idea how much those are here? $120,000 plus tax for a half-ton truck.
That's what I
Who
paid
can
for.
afford that? Who can
No,
afford it? But you want to go buy a steak. It's $50 at the store. Go buy like I mean I remember and I'm sure you remember this too because I mean we're I mean you're quite a bit older than me but not by much and we still grew up in the same time like Gen X. But I remember going to the grocery store with my parents and I remember I can still clearly remember seeing like a total at the cash register on the till for around $100 and the cart, like you couldn't even put another thing in it. Like
right.
it was so full of meat and vegetables and cheese and drinks and whatever. It was $100. Now you go spend $100 and you come out with a bag that's not even full.
No, I know.
Like this
Yeah.
this isn't sustainable. But it was funny because I wrote about this the other day. But there's one thing that is not like everything else is going up in price, and we can all agree on that, right? Like everything. But there's one thing that isn't. It's actually coming down in price. And what do you think that one thing is?
Tell me.
The big screen television.
Oh,
The big screen television. Now, why is that? Why?
no, I
Because
think we
that's the
all know
box,
why.
because that's the box on your wall
Yeah,
or whatever that's basically telling you what to do, how to be in fear for today, what to believe, what to buy, what medications you need,
yeah.
what about what's going on with the government, this, that, and the next thing is that box because
No,
everything else
I
is going up
know.
in price, but that box isn't.
No, I
And
know.
and it's funny. It's funny too because I remember like I was born in 1974, so I'm almost 52. But I remember like being a kid, and I remember having like even in my room I had like this little black and white TV with like a built-in radio. I think it was like about this big. I mean, I remember Farmer Vision with antennas with tin foil on the tops of the antennas, like the tune-in stations. I remember having like three stations on TV. You get like Little House on the Prairie here in Canada. We get the CBC, which is like a government TV station or whatever, and everything was like good, clean, wholesome, I guess would be the word, type of entertainment. And when I look back at those years and then I think like, okay, well, what was the world like outside of the TV at that point? Well, it kind of resembled, you know, that. Now we have like chaos, war, violence, this, that. And I mean, what does the world outside resemble? Well, it resembles that. Like something is really wrong. Like I was driving downtown Winnipeg last night, and I'm driving downtown, and there's people sitting in doorways downtown, right in the open, shooting up drugs with needles. Like just right out in the open. Like, I mean, what has honestly happened? Like,
No,
what's happened?
that's so wild. I can't, I no, you're absolutely right. I can't even imagine that. Where I live in North Carolina, that wouldn't fly, but I know that there are places in the US where that does happen. And I
Like people
really,
living in tents and homelessness and just
yeah, no,
decay
I
and
know.
rot and crime. Like I moved here in 1989. I don't, that wasn't like that. Like what happened?
No, I know. I
And it's
really,
not just
well,
here.
the only
It's
thing,
global. It's
yes, it
globally.
is. You're right. It is. And everybody who's joining us here now, everyone that's commenting, Anne said it's all a distraction. No one gets quiet anymore. We are so plugged in. The programming is distraction. Um, Hash Brown Hank said they like to put labels on people like me and others whom are gifted. They say we have ADHD and high functioning autism and try to force feed medications on us. Oh, I saw that myself, Hank. They tried to do that to my child too. And I was like, no, I don't think so. We're not going to be going down that route. Anne said, yes, they label us and try to dumb us down. Don't take the meds. Don't buy into their BS. Our natural language is to channel. I would agree with you, Anne. Here's the thing, and this is why I feel like what you write strikes such a chord with so many. Um, a lot of folks can see that there's something going on. They do know. And a lot of folks, specifically, I I I came to spirituality was the last thing on the list. Woke up to the medical industrial I woke
Oh,
up to the geopolitical corruption first, then the medical industrial complex because of my own disability, and then the spirituality piece. And quite frankly, it's all very at every turn there's something there to try to I used to say there's baskets, there's sorting mechanisms in place where if they can't get you with the distraction over here, they're going to get you with a distraction over here, if not there, over here, because it's all about just exactly that. Keeping your attention off of them. Some folks cannot apparently see that it's all about keeping your attention off of those who are causing the issue. But it is us who are in charge, each one of us in charge of ourselves. I used to think that I had to wake up all of my neighbors and everything. And I realize that that's not true now because you can't do that. By the way, if you think that you can wake somebody up to what's going on, forget it. Because you can't. It has to do with where a person's psyche is in that moment, what they're ready to take in and what they can take in. Um, but what I have noticed for myself is the more that I work on my own self and get my psyche right, that puts it in the field for others. It makes it more available. I and what you write about, Jason, I feel is why it strikes such a big chord and why having it in the field is so important.
Well, another thing I think about too, like, so like I understand a little bit about like how the transmissions like how we communicate and it travels through fiber optics and that which is light transfer of data and packets and stuff like this and it can travel like globally in real time. Like I still can't really wrap my head around how exactly the whole system kind of operates because it's interesting. I'll just leave it at that. Like how I can press send on a text message and it goes, in real time from here to Australia, which is on the other side of the world. How does it travel, as fast as I can press that send button, like through it, well, it travels through light. Like that's how it operates. Like I mean, it should be impossible. Like if I press even where you are, you're in what, North Carolina, right? Okay, and
Right,
I'm in Winnipeg. So
right.
I believe it's like a 20-hour drive or something like that. So I mean, even like I mean, even okay, even this conversation right now, okay, we're in real time somehow communicating, and it's not just me and you. We have people watching, and we have people commenting, and somehow it's all put together in real time. How is that possible, Sheila? How is that possible?
I really don't
We
know
can't
either.
explain, obviously it's possible because it's happening.
Well, if there's any truth to what I came across over the weekend and what I suspect how we create, that's how that's working. Um,
So the other thing I think about too, so when I do a writing, okay, so it's composed of text, words, and then I press send and it goes into the system or whatever you want to call it, right? And somehow the system, because the algorithms pick it up, right? They
right.
pick up what's being transferred. Like you said, some of your videos get shared, some of your videos don't. So somewhere in that transfer it's being read and looked at, as it's going through the web or the whatever it travels through into these server farms and whatever. But the way I look at it is once it, is released into this system, it's in the system. It doesn't matter if it gets seen by even one person or no people or 1,000 people or 1 million people. The thing is the system sees it. The system sees it. Do you follow me on that? The
Yes.
system reads it.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say, that by putting it in the field, for me, that's what again, if there's any truth to how it is that I think we create, because we do create
Oh, absolutely.
our own reality and a shared reality. Right now, my reality includes myself, you, and the 19 people in this room. We are all creating our experiences and what's happening right here, right now. I, I mean, that's what I feel like is happening. And there is apparently some actual mechanisms to it, some describable mechanisms, which is what I wanted to explore in my next book club. And boy, we've got y'all are so quick on these comments. I'm not sure I'm going to pick them all up. Um, Wizard, oh, Wizard Whitkiss. I'm so glad you joined us. I'm actually a Montauk Project survivor, which was really called Project Phoenix. And that's what the series Stranger Things was based on. Oh, that's right. I do know. Um, we've had conversations with Wizard Whitkiss before here on this channel. If the other observer effect works on all particles and all particles form up atoms and basically everything in the world are made up of atoms, then it kind of makes sense. Yes. Everything's energy and thought gives it form or gives it a lattice structure to condense into. So they try to steer the masses thinking to change the reality into the direction they want. I I could not agree more, which is why I feel as though it's really important for each to do their own inner work about things. And part of it that you were speaking to earlier about the programming and conditioning and the discernment. For me, I noticed that we end up doubting ourselves, and that's where discernment becomes distorted, to use the terminology in your writing. So by working on myself, I'm hoping that my creation will stop being so distorted, because it is still distorted. Otherwise I wouldn't be having these health issues right now. um Katrina Van says we have been brought together, the flame. um So yeah, I feel as though your information, there's been someone in, and probably was you in earlier times, I'm going to say, in the last civilizational period, let's say, which, by the way, I feel as though that person that sent you the druid stuff, the minute you said that to me, Um, I feel as though they felt you having been a druid, because I felt that the minute
I'm
you
from the
said that.
future though.
You can be both, my dear.
Oh no, I'm not saying that I can't. I'm fairly well aware. I'm fairly well aware of how the whole system operates at this point.
Yes, I figured you were. The Everything Everywhere All at Once was really a documentary, I feel, in many ways. And so I'm just really
Like
grateful.
the biggest thing to remember is you can't destroy energy.
No, that's right.
So it takes on new and different form.
It moves in and out of form. That's right. That's all.
And that's all we truly are. And everything is just like an energetic imprint.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit more about the RZN series, if you have a moment to touch on that. You said that you had more coming through on that.
Well, there's more like like I don't you see I'm my mind's kind of like at a blank right now. So I
Ah,
gotta kind of look at what I was working on here just to kind of see where I kind of left off with things here. It might take me a minute to figure out how to even get here.
no, no worries.
So yeah, um okay here.
Well, I've already kept you for an hour and a half, which,
Is that all? Is that how long we've been on here for already?
yes, and if that, hey, I'm happy to stay if
Oh
you,
no, I'm okay for time right now. I'm
okay.
just so you'll be looking like there's more. like there's more where it gets into more like about the observers, about being like the observer and runtime host and more about like the simulation. Like it gets more into that. And if you if it, so what I've understood about what I've done is, everyone keeps talking about, and you especially talk about like these puzzle pieces. And I know that there's lots of code and lots of numbers and stuff floating around in my writings all the time. But I know this, like as the books are coming out, and I know the books have like hyperlink like connections like into them, like basically like someone's like building the puzzle of, this goes with this, goes with this. This was done 8 months ago, but it goes with this piece, and it's kind of all like put together in the books. And I'm pretty sure from what I've seen on the ebooks, like all the hyperlinks and stuff like that is all embedded in the ebooks, so you can kind of follow it along. But I've noticed too lots like even when you look at the keys, like I've noticed some of the writings I've done lately, like they make reference to, this goes with meta key 3, or this goes with RZN, key 24, or whatever. So I mean, there's still more coming through. And eventually when it's finished, like if someone was to be keeping track of all this stuff, like is kind of being done for the book releases, that it forms a kind of, I guess, like a big picture, if that makes sense. Like eventually the big picture, because it even took me a long time to even understand it. Like I mean, I say before, like I'm just the channel, right? Like I'm just the channel, and whatever comes through, and then it's done and it's released. Like because I can never have, like, I mean, honestly, Sheila, like it's bad. I go to the flipping grocery store and I swear to God I can hear everybody's thoughts standing in line. Like I can't be in places like that. Like I feel energies, and I mean it's like it's crazy. And then the noise, like I spend a lot of time away from the city and out in nature, and because I need to be away from the noise. Like I mean, think about it. Like think about this, okay? Like we talk about energy. Like I live in Winnipeg. It's probably, I don't know what the population is here now. It's getting close to pushing 1 million people, maybe 800 or 900,000 people. But everyone carries one of these devices, okay, wireless. Now you're standing in a room and everyone's sending a wireless signal through this device. Well, it's going into you and through you. It's not good.
Well,
And then think about this.
and it's mimicking what you do naturally. So just to be clear.
Well, sure it is, but I mean, it's just so like it's such a, like I have so much like distorted noise, and that's why I spend a lot of time alone, and I spend a lot of time like just quiet. Like I don't even listen. Like the only time I listen to the radio is I have a work truck, and then I in my work truck, there's no like there's a radio and everything in there, but I never turn it on. Never. The only time I'll ever turn on the radio in my work truck is when I'm listening to your videos, or else it's never on. In my personal truck, like I have Sirius XM satellite radio or whatever, and lots of times I'll listen to satellite radio, but I absolutely will not listen to any like locally broadcast radio in Winnipeg. Zero. Absolutely zero. I will only li if I listen to any type of music or anything, it's coming off of satellite radio. Nothing like local broadcasts or anything like that, or else it's off. And it's interesting because I've noticed some people like they always need like a radio on in the background, and they always need like the TV on in the background, and they always need some type of noise in the background because they can't handle the silence. And I used to be like that too. Like it took me a long time to be able to sit and enjoy, being in silence. Like it takes a lot of work. Like it takes a lot. Like I remember I was in a cardiologist's office probably 20 years ago, and I've told this to a few people, and I've never met this cardiologist before. And I go into his office, and we sit down, and he's a East Indian fellow. I might have told you this. I don't know. I'll tell it again quickly. He's an East Indian fellow, and I go sit down, and I've never met this guy. And he starts talking to me about God. Okay. Like, I mean, I'm at the doctor's office. I'm supposed to be talking about my health, like not come sit down in the chair and like the first th words that come out of this guy's mouth is like he starts talking to me about God. Like I'm like, okay, like who's this guy? He's a kook. Like this guy's supposed to be helping me with my health, and he's like preaching to me about God. But he taught me one of the most valuable lessons I think I've ever learned in my life about how to get control of my mind. And so we're sitting in the office, and he says, "Okay, Jason, we're sitting in these chairs," and he's sitting in this chair across from me, and he says, "Okay, we're gonna close our eyes." And I'm like, "Okay, here we go." So we close our eyes, and he says, "I want you to say to yourself, without speaking, like with the voice in your head, you know what I'm talking about, right? You have that
Right.
voice in your head, right? Like I don't know, I don't know if everyone has that. Like maybe some people can comment, like, does everyone have the voice in their head that talks to them, but nobody can hear it except for you? Like I have the voice, okay?
I do.
So he says to me, "Okay, I want you to silently ask yourself," he says, "ask yourself this." He says, "What's your next thought gonna be?" And he says, "Okay, we got to close our eyes." So we're sitting in these chairs, we got our eyes closed. And then he says, "Okay, now ask yourself, what is my next thought going to be?" So I said, "Okay." So I did it like I could do it right now. Okay, I asked it to myself. Nobody can hear me, but I heard the voice say, "What is my next thought going to be?" And then we sat there for like about a minute, and he sat there and our eyes are closed. And then we opened our eyes, and he said, "Did you do what I told you to do?" And I said, "Yes." And he says, "What did you hear?" I said, "Nothing." He says, "Exactly." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Because now your mind knows that you're watching it." So whenever my mind starts going crazy now, because I've done this for so many years, so if all of a sudden my mind's like just all over the place, like just run you ragged, like you got to know what that's like, right? Oh, I got to do this and the world's exploding tomorrow and yada, yada, yada. And then I just stop. And I say to myself, what is my next thought going to be? And guess what happens? It goes quiet. And now when I do it, I have like a picture, like I can see like an image in my mind of like like almost like a glass-like surface of water. Okay, and I mean there is not even a ripple on it. And then as I'm doing it to check that I'm in the right place, what I do with my imagination, I guess you could say, is I drop like a rock onto the surface and watch it all ripple out, and that's where I know I'm there, and then everything's quiet again. But it took me a long time. Like it took me a lot of practice to do that. Like I'm telling you, I heard this for the first time probably 20 years ago. So I mean, I've been utilizing this ever since, but it has absolutely changed my life. Like it's changed my life. Like, and I still like I don't even remember at this doctor's office. Like he was an East Indian, older East Indian fellow, and I mean. All I remember about the whole visit is me walking in there, him start talking about God, and then he showed me this, and that's all I remember about the whole visit. Nothing about my heart, like absolutely nothing about my health, nothing. I just remember this, and I never forgot it, and I've never forgot it.
More than likely, it was the entire reason for being there. I
Oh,
mean, I know ostensibly,
absolutely, it was the entire
yeah,
reason. It was the entire reason,
right.
and I mean whether or not I even put this guy there myself, right?
Could very well
To,
be.
to remember.
Yep.
So how many people were watching today?
At our height, we had 18. It fluctuates. So, right now we have 16.
Okay, well I think we're gonna shut things down. It's four
Okay.
o'clock. We started at what time? 2:30. That's an hour and a half.
Right.
Hopefully I didn't bore you.
For me,
We talked about the books a little bit and the letters. So anyone wants to write me a letter, feel free. Not only just write to me, and I mean I got some people like I mean they're writing and I also understand like the therapeutic value of writing and releasing things too. Like, and I mean, here's the other thing too is, it's such a lesson of faith as well. Like, I mean, I went to the post office today and I was mailing letters to Czech Republic and to Hungary and I mean it's not we can't control it like we can with this device. You know what I mean? We have to surrender our thoughts and our words on a piece of paper in an envelope to a stranger and a system and somehow trust that in a day or a week or 2 weeks that this piece of paper is somehow going to end up on a truck, going to end up on a boat, going to end up on an airplane, going to end up in a totally different place in the world. Like I mailed letters to Australia today, which is all the way across the world from
Right.
where I live. And somehow that letter without getting lost, hopefully, okay, because sometimes they get lost.
Right.
I had this one lady, I'll tell this story right at the end, but somehow we put the trust that this letter is going to get where it's going to go, and it's going to reach another human, and they're going to open the envelope just like I didn't. They have no idea what's inside, just like I didn't, and they're going to see, something I physically created, and it's physical, right? It's not digital. It's physical. And there it is to be saved or preserved or to do whatever you want with it. But I had a lady who she wrote me a letter and she sent me a picture of the letter. When I think she mailed it or before she mailed it that this is the letter that's coming, and it had I think three stamps of some animals on it. And I'm fairly like meticulous about, I lose the odd thing, but stuff like this, like I take extra special care of it and whatever. And then she sent me a message a while ago. She said, "Did you receive the letter?" And I was positive that I did. I said, "Yeah," because I picked up my mail, I think, on a Wednesday. And I said back to her, I said, "Yeah, I got the letter." Because I remember, because she sent me the picture of the letter. Okay. So I had a picture of the letter in my head from what she sent. And Sheila, I can swear that I received the letter. Like positive, like 1,000% positive that I received the letter. Do you think I can find that letter anywhere? No. I cannot find that letter, Sheila. I'm telling you, I have searched absolutely. I've ripped my truck apart.
Well,
I've I've been all over the house. And you want to know what? And I swear, Sheila, I received that letter. But then I started thinking to myself, okay, well, I seen the picture of it. So did somehow by me seeing the picture, did it make me think that I received the letter? Because I mean, I've looked and it could still turn up. It can still turn up, but honestly, anywhere where that letter should be, it is not there, and I don't have that letter.
Well, I have a theory about what it could be myself, because as you may or may not know, I've had things go missing and then turn up right where they were supposed to be, right where I had looked for them
100 times.
100 times and they weren't there.
Yeah,
And then 2 weeks later,
there it
it
is,
showed
right
up.
there.
And I've actually had, I have three items that have been gone for over a year now. And I really would like for those to return, but who knows? So, one of them was a gift, part of a gift from a person in this room. James Witkiss, Wizard Witkiss, gifted me the Starman Tarot. And this book went missing for a week. And then it showed right back up right here where it belongs. And
And it
so,
was just there,
yes, it was
and it
right,
wasn't there,
and it was not there. It was not there for weeks.
and it was just there.
And then it was just there again. And so right now I have fully three tarot books just like this
Missing.
missing. I've got the decks, but I don't have the books. And so, it makes no sense, but I really feel for me, that's proof of timeline jumping.
Oh,
Some folks,
absolutely. Oh, no
right.
doubt about it. Like absolutely, absolutely no doubt about it. Like no
Yep.
doubt whatsoever. Because I'm telling you, Sheila, I swore I had that letter, but then
Well,
I mean, and like I said, I have searched and I put all the letters together. Like that's the thing. I put all the letters together and I keep all the letters together. Like I don't read one in the living room and throw it on the counter and read one in the kitchen. I keep them all together, and
right.
it is absolutely not there. And then I thought, okay, well maybe it slipped down the seat of my truck when I was driving home from the post office, and or I've set it somewhere. I was reading and I put it down. It's nowhere. Like I mean, I've shone flashlights under the seat of my truck. I've looked everywhere, and it is not there. I don't. But I swear though, I had the letter
Well, I'm almost positive that it will return and you will and you'll know. And it won't be that it'll come in the mail because I think I feel you're right. I feel what you're saying. And I do, and maybe it's to prove to you that
that I'm crazy.
actually no, that timeline jumping is actually real.
Oh, it's completely real. It's
I
it's
feel like that's part of why it had to happen for me.
like another thing. Like, do you got a couple more minutes, or do you got to run
Oh, I
here?
have all the time in the world, dear.
I gotta run. I gotta run shortly. But one of the things that I seen and I noticed and I did some investigation and writing into and stuff like that was I started writing at the like I started time. I mean, we might have talked about this a bit before, but the time stamping of everything, like that I do the time, like the date, time. And
Right.
then I write like so right now it's 2026. So then I write and there's another little reason for why I use this date system. So I write 6026 Anno Lucis beside so that's 4,000 years in the future. So I've channeled something through that really nobody there's maybe one or two people that have seen what came through in this like big channeling thing that I did and it's really it's really something quite remarkable and there's been little snippets about it and I've thought about how to publish this and whatever because I'd like to release it and so basically I well, I don't even care how crazy this sounds because I mean, I come right out and you read that I'm an alien. So, I mean, nothing's off the table at this point. But so in the future, at 4,000 years in the future from now, there's some type of an event that transpires that I think could basically wipe out humanity. And what we've done in the future is we've isolated back to now, like the Gen X, us Gen Xers back to now was the starting point of this event that takes 4,000 years in the future to materialize into the extinction of our species. So we've seeded people through time travel back to now, like back into like Gen X years or whatever we are. And our mission is to make sure that this event is stopped. And I truly think that that's what we're doing, and there's a large contingent, a fairly large contingent of us here that are working on this. And a lot of people I don't think realize, exactly what we're doing because it took me even a long time. Like I mean, I remember like and we've talked about this before, like you have this feeling like we just aren't from here and we don't belong here. Like we're not from here.
No,
Like
I know.
we're not
Yes,
from
you're
here. Like
absolutely
we're
right.
not.
I think that's why I put the RZN series in a playlist separate and why my guidance had me make sure that I did those in order. And so, because that was pretty much my first reading of what you're talking about here. And I think that is one of the reasons why your work resonates in the way that it does with a lot of folks, just for that very reason that you say. And here's what I mean. There is a part of me, that larger, more expansive part of me, that which is directly connected to source, that knows what you're speaking about is true,
It is true. It's
that
100% true.
knows that I am one of those seated back here. And the reason I know that, I told you separately, and I think I even said it in the video when I recorded it. I was told by my guidance 8 years ago that I am a tribrid. I did have no idea what that meant, but the minute I read your piece about uh, the three different uh, types of species, I knew that it was connected to that. And so the whole idea of coming here for this mission, the only way in here is with no memory intact. That's the only way to get in here.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's part of
so,
the agreement.
right. And so that's why the resonance, it pings, right? And that's why those who are pinged by your writings, it's the exact thing. And so when I, so again, I was nudged to do all the RZN writings in order, and I felt a sense of urgency when I was recording those. I recorded those as quickly as I could. Julie, God love her, was such a help to me because she sent them to me in order in my email so that I could just pull them up, record them, put them out. And it went very quickly because there's 59 of those. So if you are doing those again, if you are writing those again, if they are RZN pieces, I really want to, need to, must get them to do and put them in order in that playlist.
Well,
And
you have to go through everything that's being written, and it'll say you'll see like RZN markers in the writings, like it's there. Like it's I don't understand. I don't understand how it all fits into the big picture, but I see it like in the completed project that it's part of the RZN work. Like it's part of it. Like where and how it fits in, I really don't know.
you're not
But
sure.
this is where you can maybe reach out to the anonymous person, because the anonymous person I know is, very intricately, constructing like
Okay.
the
That's a
lattice.
good
So
idea. I had not thought about that. I will reach out
like
to that.
if you reach out to him, I'm sure he may be, maybe able to assist you, and I'm sure you still remember how to get a hold of him,
Yes, I do still have his
it's
email.
it's
Yeah.
1-800-CIA USA. No,
I hope he's laughing at that too. Uh, so
What is it? Quantico, Virginia?
right, right, yes. Langley, I
Or
believe.
Langley,
Uh,
Langley, Virginia.
that's right.
But
Um,
I was gonna mention one other thing, and now I've just completely like it slipped my mind. So maybe that this is it. Like this is it for today. I just want to say, again, like I always say, I'm very grateful for you. And
oh, well, I'm very grateful for
you've done
you.
it, you've done it. And everybody, everybody that, records the work and does stuff with the work. And I know Julie like is a big time painter, and I know she's working on a big painting series right now with the keys, and it's she's an incredible artist.
Yes, she is.
And Amber, does recordings and has a YouTube channel, and I know she's started, doing some writings on her own about like growing up off grid in Arizona, and like wilderness stories and stuff like that. And I've had, a few other people, reach out to me and say they've started writing and whatever. Because I mean, this wasn't something that I ever planned either. Like I never, I still say like on my profile it says Jason Gray writer, and I still like published author now too. I can put published author there.
Well, I
It-
love
it's
that.
not it's not really something like I mean I always have had this vision of this since I've been a young child, and I just over the decades you know I just I just thought this was some impossible dream, and it just went away until one day like here it is. Like I like my first manuscript, I must have I've sent you copies of it before, like pictures of my first manuscript, and it's on paper, and it's around 700 pages or something. It's all printed out in a binder and whatever. And I mean, I thought, this is how you produce a book, and I did that, and I think I wrote all of 2024. Yeah, because the books that are out now are my writings from 2025. So this would have been my writings of 2024 that I don't really think you can find online. Like well, no, they actually they might be on my, like if somehow someone could figure out how to get back in my profile like that far back, a lot of them might be in there. But anyways, like I printed all those out in the book, and I have the book in kind of in safekeeping and whatever, because it's a fairly important book, I believe, for the future. And I never thought I never thought I'd write a book. Like I'm like, oh, I'm a published author now, but that was actually the first book that I finished, and it's like it's one you hold in your hands. Like it's like even when I hold the book, like just just the energy of what's contained in that book, like it's like you could probably like touch a light bulb to the cover and it would probably light up.
No, I'm certain you're right because just the picture gave me a jolt. Um, and I would like to say that that piece that you were speaking on, that you channeled, that's fairly large. I got a huge ping on that. So if and when you feel the time is right, I would appreciate your sending me that one.
Well,
Just so I can,
it's more like visuals.
ah,
It's not really like there's no real writing associated with it. It's something basically completely different.
oh,
It's
okay.
it's it's completely different. And you want to know what, I really have to sit down with it more because I've just been so busy. Like, but I remember as I was doing it, like just the feelings I was having and stuff like that. Like, it's wild. Like it's something else. Like, but I mean that lots of it is, and then sometimes like, well, I wouldn't say I run into writer's block, but I mean when I kind of start running into a writer's block, like I just have to quiet myself. Like I have to quiet myself and I have to listen. And then that's when the guidance comes. Because I mean, I've always been my whole life, I'm a question asker. Like I mean, they train you in school to memorize the answer. They don't ever really talk about the question. It's always
No,
about the answer. Well,
no,
I'm all about the question.
yeah, me too.
So,
Yep.
anyways, I just want to say again, Sheila, I really appreciate you. I know
Oh,
you've
thank
had a
you.
bit of some health issues. I've actually had some health issues myself, and I ended up out in the woods. I ended up getting some type of a skin infection or whatever. I've been on IV antibiotics at the hospital. I just every day, and I mean, it's kind of been crazy. And then 4 or 5 years ago, I had a widowmaker heart attack. I got 4 stents in the left side of my heart, and I've been having a little bit of, I wouldn't say issues lately, but I have to go see some doctors and have some tests done and stuff like that. And I mean, and then another thing I think about too, like, so I'm going to be turning 52 in September, and my dad he was 53 when he died. So I think about that quite a bit. Like, I mean, I'm right at the age, where my dad was living the last year of his life and didn't even know it. So I mean, I gotta get out as much stuff. So if anything happens to me, I mean, this is no, like I'm okay if it does. Like I'm totally, I have no fear of death whatsoever. Zero. Absolutely zero. But this is all my legacy. Like my writings and all this when I'm long dead in worm food, okay? This is gonna be my legacy. I don't have, buckets of money or I don't have property or anything like that to leave to anyone. They're gonna get like, okay, here's Jason's Facebook profile or Jason's books on Amazon or whatever. And then once the hardcover books come out, like I have some ideas, like I have some I signed up. I didn't want to monetize my account ever. Like I was always like really against monetization. But I decided to monetize my account because I mean, we all need money. I mean, money makes the world go round. And I've had, a few people, step up to assist me, and half the money I've been donating to charities that have made a big impact in my life, like about my addiction story and stuff like that. So I try to give back what I can, to certain institutions around my city or just help whoever. And that's been going well. And so I mean, yeah, where it goes from here, I mean, we've sold some books. I mean, it would really be nice if I could, focus full time on the work, which unfortunately I'm not quite there yet. I have a feeling somehow I will get there. But I mean, I still, I remain, I'm very grateful, to the people that have stepped up to help me in this avenue. And there's nothing hidden behind any paywalls or, you don't, subscribe to me and you get like this secret, porthole access or whatever like that. Like everything is, free of charge. Yeah, the books cost $10 a piece, but I mean, there's a lot of time and resources that goes into creating this stuff, and it's not just me involved in it and stuff like that. And I mean, but everything's always free on Facebook. All that does is it puts it into, into the book format where you have everything kind of you're able to access it, like whereas I said before, you can't really search on Facebook or unless you want to scroll back for 36 hours of scrolling, like to get back to a year ago. Like on the ebooks, it all works fairly flawlessly from what I've seen. I don't have a Kindle reader or anything like that. So I mean, I do have the Kindle app on my phone, and I do have the copies of the books that I've quickly gone through, like to see, if anything I like to change or this and that and whatever. And then the gentleman that's, taking care of this, and then like I said too, I've had a couple meetings with a publisher out of California, and where that's gonna go is really still yet to be seen. I have some ideas on the things I'd like to do. And I mean, I'd like to see, Julie do like a big art exhibition because all of her paintings are connected to the RZN writings and the keys. And she's doing some, really, she's an amazing artist. Like she's amazing.
No,
Like
I know.
really, 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 really amazing.
Yes, and she's channeling some things through those paintings that even she didn't see.
Yeah, no, it's
So
it's
that's very interesting to me as well.
it's yeah, no, it's incredible. Like it's incredible, and I still can almost see like some type of an exhibition somewhere of these paintings, on display with like the paintings and then the writings that inspired the paintings, like almost like in these glass cases or something like that. And I mean, just people coming to see them because I think, as people see these paintings. And I know I think she gives away all her paintings like
Uh,
for free.
she's doing, if I'm not mistaken, Julie, you chime in if you're still in the comments there in the live
Like for
chat.
like donations or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
she is accepting donations and she took a page from you and they're going uh
to help charity.
right.
Yeah.
And so absolutely. So absolutely. And my hat is off to both of you for what you're doing there with that. And I am going to open up my donation box as well. However, those donations will be coming to me. I need glasses now. And Unfortunately, Medicare does not provide glasses. So,
That's crazy.
no, I know. And, they cost around $800. So, that's the tough thing about that. She says, I accept donations that I then donate. Yeah, in exchange for her work, which is something that I highly applaud because that's the way I do it. I'm a BQH practitioner. If anybody wants to take me up on that, and then, you just pay me what you think it is worth to you, and that will all go towards my glasses. So, Jules said Sheila on audio, Amber on writing about her off-grid life. Um, yes, and Julie Wise also records Jason's work, Jules. Well, Jason, I'm really appreciative of your coming and hanging out with me for the
Yeah, we've
activity.
been talking about this for a while, so I figured it's been bothering me, so I figured, okay, it's time.
Well, I mean, like I said, I appreciate any time and all the time and every time that you come. And I'm also very grateful that you did it a little earlier in the day.
Yeah. Well, I tried getting you for last night, I think, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You tried to get me
On
for
like
last night.
15 minutes notice.
Yes, on a 15 minutes, and I just couldn't. There's just I was too gone for yesterday. So, um, and I'm not sure. I know it wasn't Wizard Wig Kiss, but I believe it was hashtag or Hash Brown Hank said something about having a get together. And I would love to hear from those at Conscious Conversation Central. This is a paid for Zoom account. I can have 100 people in a Zoom room.
Well, I think we should have some type of an in-person get together somewhere.
Well, I would love that as well. And I live in a little bit of a small town, and I don't have the wherewithal to say everybody can come, but I do have one guest room and it's open for you, sir. So should you decide to come to the United States for a visit and you want to have a get together, that's how I met my housemate, my current housemate. Lisa Flamino Rush, we had a get together in 2016 here in North Carolina because I could not travel. And there were at that time 14 people came to visit. And she and her family decided to move here and became my roommates. So, you know, I, I,
That's the
I would love
system.
that. I've done it before. I can do it again.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the future has in store.
Oh, Hash Brown Hank just said he's in Winnipeg.
Oh, really? I wonder who Hash Brown Hank is.
I don't know,
Maybe
but
I
he said
know
I'm
Hash
in
Brown Hank.
Winnipeg too. So, yep. So yeah, awesome. Yes. Well, I'm up for something like that too, and to give everybody the opportunity to see about trying to, because I know right now, trying to just pick up and travel somewhere that's a little hard to do. So we would definitely want to put it in far enough down the road where folks could save up to be able to come and yeah, I would love that. I think that would
Yeah,
be
that'd be pretty cool.
well, it is something that I had a vision in 2017.
Maybe we can all meet at Stonehenge.
Well, I've always wanted to go there, but that's traveling. I don't know if I'd be able to do that, but I certainly would not.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. I certainly would not be against trying to do that.
We should all meet at Stonehenge at solstice.
I would have to pick up the donations, though, that's for sure, if I would if I
We'll,
was to
we'll,
do
we'll
that.
run a big GoFundMe campaign and then everyone will chip in and then everyone will get a go.
Well, that would certainly be lovely, wouldn't it? Jan
Okay, well,
doesn't say
I'm gonna
anything.
run,
Okay, thank
and
you
like
so
I said,
much, love.
it's been great chatting with you today. Hopefully, I didn't babble on and I was somewhat coherent. I
You were absolutely coherent. You did
and
not babble
just in
on at
case
all.
anyone's wondering, if I'm still real or anything like that, like here I am once again. I'm real.
Yes, you are. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the comments. Jam Bam is leaving us. We'll catch the rest on the recording. I believe we have capability of telepathic communications. Yes, I would agree. That's what I was saying before. Okay. Well, I love you so much, kiddo. Till next
Okay,
time.
Jason signing out.
Okay.
Nanu nanu.
Bye, kiddo.
Bye.
To the rest of you guys, let me just say that I really appreciate your being here. And if you are interested in joining me for a book club, this will be The World of Archangels, How to Meet an Archangel by Sufi and Chudhari. And look for I'm going to go ahead and put out the recording that I've already done on this on the channel. So you'll be able to see that this evening. And if you are interested and you want to be included on a mailing list for either the possibility of a Zoom room meetup and or something in person, conscious conversation central at gmail.com. If you have found what I do valuable and you would like to help me get some glasses, all of the links into how you could help me make that happen are in, well, they will be in the body of this video. Since this is live, it's not there at the moment, but I will be putting it in the body of the video, and it will be in the description portion of the video on New Light Streaming Love when I upload that later. Hash Brown Hank says, I have a lot of questions for you, Sheila. Oh, yes, I would love that, Hash Brown Hank. I'm glad you said that because I got some questions for you too. So that would be lovely. I would love to get you and Wizard Witkiss in a room together. And yes, Wizard Witkiss, we do need a catch up. So let me know what your schedule is and when you would like to do that. So Jackie Smallridge enjoyed listening, and there is no time like the present to get your writings out. That is exactly how I felt. The years were creeping up, getting no younger. Yes, Jackie, and you and I have to get together as well. So thank you all for hanging out. Until next time, I hope you will move towards that which draws you, because there is absolutely something there for you, and you will reveal it to yourself. Until we meet again, be well, my friends.